It's like, dad is right there, and then mom is on the left, and then the door is right there, and it's
Yeah,
kind of open,
ours is too.
and we're
Same.
both sitting on the like,
Yeah, same side.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of great. Oh, this, I got this right, right? Always worry about that too much.
It looks fine.
Okay. Hi. Thank you for doing this. I know you
You're
haven't
welcome.
been feeling well, but you look fantastic. You've been doing so great lately. Your weight loss regimen, putting
Thanks.
in the work. Proud of you, babe.
Thanks. That's enough.
Okay.
Made me feel awkward.
Okay. I did something for the first time the other week.
Okay.
Um, I pawned an item.
What?
I've never pawned something. I've
What the
never
hell did you
pawned
pawn and why?
an old ring.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because what the fuck was I gonna do with it? Yeah. So,
Where?
right down the street,
Oh,
like we buy gold.
yeah.
Yeah, went
Huh.
right in there, and I tried to do it on Memorial Day, but apparently everyone's fucking closed on Memorial Day that buys gold.
So what'd you do? Like 20 bucks?
See, okay, I'm surprised you said that because I looked up. I knew, by looking at it, it was a 14 karat gold, white gold ring.
Okay.
Um,
I think I know the ring you're talking about.
yeah, and I Googled like what a gram of that is worth,
Yeah.
and it was like something $50 or
Oh
whatever. But
no.
of course, it just goes, it fluctuates in the fucking day,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like, okay, $20. I walk out here with $20, fucking cool with it. So, when I go in there and hand it to the lady, and she's like, "What are you looking to get for this?" I was like, "Well, I haven't really done too much research, but thinking 20." She's like, "Dollars?" Like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, honey, oh no." I was like, "What?" Yeah, and then so she like weighed it and did her other thing, and she's like, "How about 100?"
What the hell?
Yeah, I was like, "Sold." Look, I didn't even. I was like,
Do you
"You could have." I
know?
was like, "You could have gotten me," and she's oh, wouldn't do that because I just only wanted 20.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they gave me $100 cash.
When the children were 2, 4,
6, 8. Who do
they were
we appreciate?
2,
You.
4, and 9,
Okay.
and I was suddenly single out of
Uh-huh.
nowhere.
Uh-huh.
And I had been a stay-at-home mother, and I had no access to a bank account anymore. I needed money. I had so much jewelry, so many rings, and I took them and pawned them. And I'm talking like 6 rings, some of them with multiple diamonds. Real.
Yeah.
I got like $45 for
Get
all of that.
the fuck out of here. They saw you coming a mile away.
I was crying.
Yeah, that's why they were like, just gonna fucking railroad this. Yeah, they probably weren't thinking you were gonna be,
That was in
alive too much
that was in
longer.
2009.
Yeah.
I got like $45 for all of it.
Well, I mean, where you were doing this on what, the south side of Oklahoma?
No. No, this was in Mustang, Oklahoma.
Yeah, well, not much different.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Still Oklahoma.
It is Oklahoma, but still,
Yeah. You know what?
I
Speaking
could
of,
have gotten like 5 or 600 bucks.
you should live in India because Indian women hold about 11% of the world's gold, more than the combined reserves of the United States of America, IMF. Who's the IMF?
I don't know.
International Military Fund.
Uh,
I don't know. Switzerland and Germany
wow.
combined.
Yeah.
These women are wearing
Yes. Because it's
more than
very common for even babies to have jewelry, and it's pretty much always gold. Like bracelets, necklaces, earrings, nose ring, like it's their culture.
that,
That's
and
what
there's billions of them.
Yes,
You know,
but but also it's their culture that they have these things. Like even the babies, like you'll see babies crawling around with bracelets and
big old,
and they're
bracelet.
actual gold. Yeah. So I'm not really surprised.
We should go to get a fucking flight over to India and just rob fucking Indian
Oh
women
no.
and then just fly back. Why not?
That, oh,
There's way worse shit going on in India
I don't care.
than
No,
women getting robbed,
like that at all.
mass murder, and
Why
all
don't
that.
you just go
Look,
buy me some gold?
that means I gotta start work. But I could definitely help her out if you would like, comment, and subscribe right now to this podcast. Tell your friends about us. Fun. And you come up with cool shit like this so you're drunk at the bar and remember it. Tell your friends that you should go rob Indian women
No,
in
no, that's
India.
not. No, that's not what we're suggesting.
Well, I'm just saying you could
No.
because they hold more than the.
Okay, but that's not what we're
Think
suggesting.
about it.
Don't say
Like,
that. Don't say that out
no,
loud.
we're joking, of course,
No,
honey.
I
This
don't.
is a podcast. We're not being serious,
I don't
but
like that.
also this is the reserves are behind like big fucking doors and shit like that and underground. These people are just lollygagging, wearing it around their on their wrists and shit. You could just pocket all these. If you can figure out how to, you know,
No.
maybe seduce one and like pick her earrings off or with your mouth or something. I don't know.
Ew.
Yeah, that'd be gross too. That they're not really. We won't get into that stereotype.
I never would have said ew to that until I gauged my ears, and now, ew.
You didn't
Because I mean, like regular earrings, they're so tiny, you don't really notice
notice what?
like how gross earrings can be.
Oh,
But
so it's like belly buttons
so
on your
it's so
earlobes.
think about it like
It
okay,
gathers dirt.
so anytime you have any sort of piercing or anything like that, like they always like
Any kind of
gather
penetration.
skin or whatever on the post and all that.
Okay.
Well, when you gauge your ears, there's a bigger surface area, so there's more skin. That's why people always talk about gauges having like a funk, and
Oh
that's
yeah,
why,
it's yeah.
because it's a bigger surface
People don't
area.
clean it out.
Earrings do the same thing,
It's-
but they're just so tiny you don't really notice it.
Yeah, because the surface area isn't that large.
Right.
You can't really notice things
Right.
if there is any.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God! Remember when sucking on ears and shit
It
was
was like
like
a
a
thing.
big thing?
Yeah.
Uh,
I never would
when
have said ew until I gauged my ears, and now if you say something like that, I'm like,
yeah,
ugh,
that's
that's
that's like
gross.
tongue punching someone's belly button
Yeah.
and pulling out like
Ew.
building a sweater off that.
Speaking
shit.
of belly buttons, I think I'm gonna get mine re-pierced again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, do it, babe. I liked it.
I might. We'll
Yeah.
see. Now that I'm small enough, you'd actually be able to see it. It wouldn't be hidden in like rolls. I do.
um, did you know if you lived in a basement your whole life, you would age a few nanoseconds longer than someone living in a second story apartment? This is due to stronger gravity closer to Earth, slowing time more. So time literally passes slightly faster upstairs near a building's top.
That's not where I was gonna go with that at all.
Okay, where were you going with that?
I was thinking it had something to do with like light exposure, like sun exposure,
I mean, I'm sure that had something to do with it too, because
because sun.
Huberman will tell you that you need that light in the morning.
No, I know. Okay, so for vitamin D, yes.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is sun and light exposure ages your skin and parts of your cells faster. So I was thinking that that would have been the reason for the slower aging,
Oh, okay.
not the gravity thing. That is interesting.
Did you hear about the German freaking it was, can't call him a serial killer, but he had his daughter and then built he was an architect. He like built this underground basement thing. I didn't even hit start. What time did we start?
I don't know, but it's okay.
Uh he built like this underground freaking like room and put his daughter in there and then said she ran away, but instead was going down there and she like had multiple kids, and they grew up with never seeing the sunlight. Or yeah,
I
I
think we've
forget
talked about this.
Yosef something.
I think
Yeah,
we've talked about this.
yeah, sick son of a bitch. I think he's still alive in a fucking prison somewhere. But like those prisons, for some reason, like he's in like one of those really nice ones that like it looks like something out of 2001: A Space Odyssey, where just everything's white and plastic. But yeah, I don't know. But then you watch those other shows from Locked Up Abroad, like you
Well, it
go to
depends on the
anywhere.
country
Yeah, you go anywhere in the Philippines, you don't want to go to fucking jail
or
there.
Mexico.
Yeah, south of the equator, you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah. I wonder what Australian prisons are like.
Probably
Do
not
they
good.
even have any?
No, they just fucking send you out to the bush.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
go live out there,
just
you
go.
fucking wild animal. Where they all started anyway.
Yeah.
Aussies. Big drinkers though. Good time. For a night.
For one night.
Mm-hmm. Then they get annoying. Much like me. You know all that. Oh, check this out. In 1972, an American Airlines flight 119 was hijacked by a 28-year-old man named Martin McNally, who smuggled a submachine gun on board and demanded 500,000 ransom along with parachutes. So it sounds like he's trying to do the DB Cooper, right?
Okay.
You know, DB Cooper.
Yeah.
Uh, I will get it.
You got real big into
Yeah.
that for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who did? It's amazing. After the plane returned to St. Louis and most passengers were released, McNally prepared to take off again with the skeleton crew and the cash, much like Cooper did the same thing.
Right.
Got what he wanted. Just give me enough people to fucking put me in the air and then I'll do whatever. However, he wasn't thinking about this man because just as the aircraft was taxiing, David J. Hanley, a 30-year-old local businessman watching the drama unfold from the terminal lounge, took matters into his own hand. He drove his 1971 Cadillac Eldorado, so he's got a boat.
Yeah.
Probably like half the size of that fucking airplane.
Yeah.
He drove it through airport fencing and rammed the aircraft's landing gear at high speed, disabling it and temporarily halting the hijacking. This sounds like fucking Die Hard too.
I don't know.
What were you thinking?
No.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
He's watching this shit go down. He's like, "Oh, that fucking plane. Hold on, my Cadillac's right over there."
So
You couldn't do this nowadays. It'd take you forever to get through the fucking airport.
you'd never be able to get your car onto the
Yeah.
runway.
Yeah.
Like, never. That would not.
I mean, you probably could. It's just
Unlikely. You'd get stopped, especially if there's police presence because of what's going on. You'd never know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
No, because they wouldn't want some random dude to be the hero of the day when there's all these police there trying to prevent this shit in the first place. They would never allow some random Joe to. No.
Okay. So this guy.
Yeah.
Right. And he temporarily halted the hijacking. However, McNally, undeterred, the guy who originally demanded another aircraft and was transferred to a second Boeing 727. They gave him another fucking airplane.
Wow.
What is this? When did the whole "we don't negotiate with terrorists" come up?
I don't know.
Was that in the 90s?
I don't know.
I mean,
That's the first time I remember hearing it, but I mean, that's because of our ages.
yeah. I mean, this sounds like it was just the. No, this is not Dog Day Afternoon. No, that's different.
No, that was a bank.
That was based on a real one too.
That was a bank.
And that was a bank too. But yeah, you. Oh my God, you can almost get. You could get airplanes back in the day.
Yeah, apparently.
Damn. So yeah, so he demanded another aircraft and was transferred to a second Boeing 727. Once in the air, so they let him take off again. He parachuted out over Indiana. Of all the places, jump out.
Where it would be easy to spot.
Yeah.
There's no trees to hide in.
And you're fucking in Indiana, dude. Like, don't, okay. It sucks other than South Bend, Indiana. Go Irish. Um, so though he lost a bag of money during the jump, so he gets $500,000 in 1970s. How much is that? Like at least 1.5 now,
Probably.
right? I mean, I'm not good with math. You're better. But he was arrested 5 days later and sentenced to life in prison. Check this out. Later paroled in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, so that guy got out. Hanley, the dude who drove the fucking his Cadillac Eldorado in the
Yeah.
airplane, he was briefly charged for damaging the plane, but the charges were later dropped.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
He just like saved you $1 million,
Half of it.
$500,000,
Yeah.
and a plane.
Kind of.
Other than the landing gear.
Yeah.
And y'all gave this man another plane and then tried to charge him. I told you.
Somebody had to pay for that shit. This is for privatization of airlines and all that other bullshit. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They were like, we're going to get our,
Wonder whatever happened to the money. They just said he was arrested. They didn't say they recovered the money.
right? Doo-doo-doo.
Somebody got it.
Oh, shit. So it's Friday the 13th. And do you know the horror movies? You're familiar with them, right?
Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite one?
No.
Okay. Which ones do you remember? Let's start with that.
I remember watching one with my uncle. I was very young, like 3. And I was watching one of them with my uncle who was babysitting me. I think my grandma was babysitting me, but I was in my uncle's room watching Friday the 13th when my mother came to my grandmother's house to get me. Because he was like 18, I think. And he was
Children
watching it.
thinking, yeah.
And I was watching it with him. Like, I remember I was laying on my stomach, like my head propped up on my hands, watching it. I was so excited. Loved it. And my mother, all I
You weren't
remember.
scared at
No,
all?
no. But I remember my mother walking in and screaming at my uncle and was so mad. And I was like, it's fun. Yeah.
Watch them.
Yeah. I
And
thought it
this
was fun.
this was the first one.
I don't know. I want to say yes because it was probably like 1981, 82.
Well, they started
I
the
think
Jason.
the first one was
Yeah,
78, right?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but I do know that once they started, they were putting them out like once a
Right. But
year.
this was on TV. So
Okay.
I'm assuming it was the first one.
Yeah, shit turned around really quick.
Right.
Yeah.
So at least I think it was on TV. Nobody had VCRs
Did
yet.
you remember Kevin Bacon being in it?
Not then I didn't recognize
okay.
who that was.
Okay.
But I mean, really the only one, I think I only really know 2 of them, the first and the second.
Okay. So you're fully aware the first one is
Is-
just his mother.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the second
Now
one,
I am. Yeah.
because at the end of the first one, the boy
Yeah.
jumps up. It's that last scare. at the
Yeah.
end. See the pee a little bit in your
Yeah.
pants. Yeah.
And it's a dream.
No. No. Because here comes the second one.
Right.
And now he is a man. It's
Right.
what if that boy grew up?
Right.
And yeah. Oh shit. Party time. Excellent.
No, it's not. Got it.
There were so many good ones because I enjoyed the Friday the 13th series. I think it scared me more than Freddy, more than Nightmare on Elm Street.
See, I never saw Nightmare on Elm Street until I was, oh geez, probably 25. So
So by then, the whole thing is lost. I
right,
think.
because
He's
it
just a
wasn't, it was an
smart-ass-
old movie that
He's just a smart ass dude with knives on his fucking.
right, and it's all
Yeah.
dreams and
Yeah.
like it's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all right. Like I enjoyed it watching it, but again, it was an older movie by the time I watched it. So it wasn't like seeing a brand new, how technology changes. It wasn't as
Yeah.
scary 25 years later.
Right.
So,
Yeah. The thing I liked more that made it Friday the 13th or Jason scarier to me is that he never spoke.
right.
Freddy got he was scared,
sarcasm
yeah,
and
and he'd be like this smart ass, and it was kind
yeah,
of funny sometimes,
yeah,
and you're like,
right,
it would be, yeah.
yeah.
But Jason never until I think Jason Takes Manhattan.
See, I've
I
never seen any of that.
That was
BS.
so bad. Apparently they did like 5 minutes filming of him in Times Square, and then the rest of the movie was filmed in Vancouver.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, he laughs at some point in that. Like, jeez,
right.
it's just, yeah.
No.
But yeah,
Yeah, no, that made it way scarier because there was no emotion. It
yeah,
was just killing,
yeah.
which was scarier.
And he started out like Voorhees was just a dude. At first, it was a boy, and then it was like this boy survived somehow and mutated, and he's just a man. But he was able to be hurt and whatnot. And then at one point, it became like supernatural,
Right.
and it got kind of. I mean, I
Yeah.
get it. Like there was one was like the dude who just passed away. He was the mortuary guy in Final Destination movies. You know what I'm talking about?
The
Uh,
yeah, I know who you're
yeah,
talking about. The tall, like deep
yeah,
voiced.
very,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I think he's the mortuary guy in that, and like they're doing like an autopsy on Jason's dead body, and he exposes his heart, and it's like a black heart, and it starts like beating, and he just gets overcome with whatever, and he grabs it and like bites it.
Ew.
Yeah, and it just like he gets
What?
possessed with the fucking spirit of Jason.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's one of the I
See,
forget
that's
which
why I
one it
quit
is.
watching.
Yeah.
That's why you can't.
It was like the how I chalk it up to like the Halloween movie that doesn't include Michael Myers. It's just the weird mask people that when you wear their mask, it's the witching. Yeah. There's a Halloween movie
I
that
think
does not include
well,
Michael Myers.
Halloween I think is the same way as far as fear factor because he doesn't speak.
Right? Yeah.
And it's like the same like dead eyes and no emotion and just killing.
You can't negotiate with
No.
this person.
No.
Like if
There's no like running away like he just continues and you're going to
yeah.
die.
You can pause, like, or you can delay Freddy if you can just engage with him a little
Right?
bit in
Like yeah.
conversation. He
Like you
wants
could
to talk.
imagine if you were a smart ass back, he'd just get mad,
Yeah,
but you would feel something.
yeah.
Like,
Like I'm buying time.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah,
Think maybe I got a chance, but he's still gonna fucking split you from the
right.
rectum to your
Yeah.
nasal cavity.
But yeah, I
I
I don't know if I like Halloween or Friday the 13th more. I think Friday the 13th.
always like Friday. Okay, Michael Myers probably scared me more than
Yeah,
Jason
yeah,
Voorhees.
I agree with that.
But I did enjoy the Friday the 13th movies more because there was more movies in them.
Yeah,
You would get a shot like once in John Carpenter Halloween or
right.
whatever. But yeah, the
But it was more like
Friday the 13th, you're getting titties.
teen
Yeah,
angst and promiscuity and
yeah,
drugs, and those were the things that got you killed.
yep, yep. And they
But
parody that when he goes to fucking space, and they put him in Jason Goes to Space.
oh
Jason
god,
X. Yeah, fantastic. They put him in a simulation, and it's just like two chicks. They're like they take off their bikini tops. They're like, oh, he just dancing around. Yeah, it's great.
it's too much.
Yeah, I mean, where else are you gonna go? He went to hell already. It's a space.
That's too much.
Yeah,
But people still watch them, so more money.
right. And they kept doing remakes. I just watched a remake of I guess it was supposed to be the original Friday the 13th with one of the guys from that show Supernatural that you guys watch.
Yeah.
He was one of the leads in it. And yeah, I don't remember when that one came out, but like 2013. So that's all. That,
So what's the
if-
best? What's the scariest movie you've ever seen?
Okay.
Like that made you the most scared?
Um, I can't. Okay, now, and I'm basing it off when I watched them. They were The
Being
Shining.
scared as a child isn't the same.
Okay, well, but that was the most scared I was watching a horror movie. Like you asked me as an adult, I'm not gonna be as scared because I know it's all bullshit, you know.
You
So
never saw one as an adult that made you like
I mean,
freak
other
out.
than the jump scares, uh, no. I mean,
No?
no. Like psychological thrillers, no. I like those. I
Right.
enjoy
No,
them,
that's
but
different.
yeah. But something that
See,
makes
and
me
so
actually afraid, no.
I was watching scary movies from a very young age.
Yeah.
Horribly inappropriate scary movies. At a very young age.
Oh yeah.
Well, all of them. I mean, Friday the 13th at 3. I
Yeah, I
mean, come
guess
on.
so. Yeah.
But
It was great when he was fucking zipping people up in their sleeping bags and beating them up against the tree to death.
but
Go, Jason, dude. I probably has the best kills.
I was never scared. Like there were a few times like jump scares, but it was fun.
Yeah.
That's a fun. It's like a roller coaster. It's scary, but it's fun. As an adult, year was it? Oh, probably 2009. Yeah, probably 2008, somewhere around there. The children and I watched The Strangers. And I lived in the country,
Again, situational.
home alone
Yep.
with children, and that movie freaking terrified me.
Yeah.
Like I went through this was in the country in Oklahoma. Nobody locked windows or doors. That just
Yeah.
didn't happen. Like I don't even think I had a key to the front door. Like you didn't lock the door. That night everything got locked.
That's
Like
double checking windows.
yes. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was 2-story house. I went through and locked every damn window. Like that movie scared the hell out of me.
And that's the thing. It's a situational thing. Like people that watched that movie that were like living in the city, like in high rise,
Right? Or you
you know,
had
they come
neighbors right
they
next
yeah,
door,
they
like
walk outside and there's some dude pissing
right.
and some other dude screaming nonsense and then, God knows whatever. That kind of movie doesn't scare them
No.
because they see they're like, I
Well, it's like
wish
it
those
couldn't really
motherfuckers.
happen.
Yeah.
But being in the country and alone with
Yeah.
small children, that was terrifying.
Yeah.
Like,
This
ooh,
could actually happen.
yes,
Because, I mean, especially this day and age or that day and age, like when people remember when Batman came out, the Heath Ledger one, and people were just going ape shit, like dressing up like the Joker and
Yeah.
actually going out and getting shot by the cops.
yeah.
Because people go nuts about the stupidest things because people, but I get it. Yeah.
That one was scary.
The two scariest ones I had for me were The Shining. Because when I was watching it with my brother Brian, and then he left me in the kitchen and didn't come back. And so I ended up scared out of my mind because it was the only light on in the
And you didn't
house.
want to leave the
I
kitchen
didn't
because the
wanna
light
leave-
was on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I ended up sleeping in the bed.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Okay.
ended up going up and going to bed. And I forget how. I mean, I was young. And
I was
then
gonna say if the bench was still there, it had to have been like 496.
yeah. Yeah, I was in early. I don't even think I was a teenager yet. And
Because I
then
remember the bench.
yeah. So slide over. And then the second one was it. It had me sweating, like waking up, fucking
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, freaking the fuck out. I watched it. Went back to go visit a family in Chicago, Sister Kathy's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, watched it that
I
night. Yeah,
loved that movie.
fucking A, scared the
Loved
shit out
it.
of me, dude.
The part where, because you're talking about the original, like 1988
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Tim Curry.
Yes.
Fucking yeah. That
And
guy was the
there was
subject
one
of
part
so many of my nightmares as a
in
child. Because
the
remember, he was the demon, the devil in Legend with Tom Cruise,
I don't
the one with the
remember.
big ass horns.
Oh, okay,
That's
yeah.
Tim Curry too.
Well, he was also the evil. He was Rooster in Annie.
yeah,
But
just a
so
bad man.
there was one scene in it, in that original one, in like the bed and breakfast, when they go back to Derry.
Yeah.
And the main dude and the chick, like, were having this little thing, like, you know, they were in love or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. She bangs everyone in the book.
And no,
Okay.
but anyway, so they were like making out, and then you see the mirror behind him, and it shows the clown makeup all over his face. So it wasn't her that he was making out with; it was it. And I was like, oh, yeah. I
So
remember
bad.
that part, like, immediately. If you say it, that's the part that
Yeah.
sticks in my head.
Still just chills like, yeah,
Yeah.
fucking nuts. And like I can watch it now and I'll still like I can call back that feeling, but it's never that old feeling that I got because
Yeah.
I'm not waking up in a sweat anymore
Right.
because Gary.
Yeah.
Not unless he's doing other
The
things.
remake ones. Did you think those were as good?
I enjoyed watching them.
They were really good. Like, I really liked them, but they weren't the same.
I don't like how it ended.
Right.
But I don't like how the first one ended either because I just don't like what it is.
Right.
You know, what it is never really fucking worked for me. Like it needed to be something else other than whatever that fucking big spider
Right.
bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah. Other than that, I mean he's scary as shit.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
yep. Well, happy Friday the 13th, and
Thanks.
we wish all of you well, unless you suck, and then we hate you.
Wow. No, we
So
don't.
please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends. See.